What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you, well, a bit late, review for Friday Night Smackdown. I had to turn it over because I had it on the wrong page, my little notes here, but yeah, let's get into it. So, Charlotte Flair starts off Friday Night Smackdown by saying the more things change, the more things stay the same. That the fact that Charlotte Flair is the SmackDown Women's Champion. Says, she starts taunting the crowd a little bit, saying, how many times is that now? 6 times, I think. I think it's 6 times. But she said, but I don't keep count. That's what all of you do. All of you guys do, pointing to the WWE Universe, saying that y'all do this because none of you could do what I can do. Because she said none of you can do what I can do. Not only am I, she said, I am not only the face of this division, but she also the face of this whole company, and the most decorated woman in sports entertainment history. Reminding us all again. I think she's been saying that for the last couple of weeks now. And she said, then she goes on to say, and I mean, no one is going to change that. And she said, here's the thing, this is like, at this point, she's talking about the difference between her winning the championship and the women in the locker room. She said, here's the thing, when the women in the locker room win the championship, or win this, basically win the SmackDown or the Raw Women's Championship, they go, oh my god, I won a championship. She said they act like it's the greatest accomplishment in life. But she said when Charlotte Flair wins a championship, she said it's just another Friday. And then she go, and let me know in the comments down below, because that part of her promo I did not get. I get everything, little jab she was taking at people. I just didn't get the whole, when she win the championship, it's just another Friday and the wink. Because Pat McAfee was like, get it, Michael Cole? And I'm like, I didn't get it because I don't understand what she was referencing right there. So let me know in the comments down below what she was referencing. Then Sasha, after a lot more posturing and basically gratifying herself, Sasha Banks will come out and basically challenge Charlotte to a match, to which Charlotte tells her that she's been talking with Sonya Deville and that it's time for the new face of the company to arise and basically face her for the title. And Sasha started taunting Charlotte about not wanting to face her, saying that she's doing it because she's scared and all this other stuff. But then out comes Chauncey Blackheart. Chauncey Blackheart would come out and basically challenge Charlotte Flair, saying that if a new face is what you're looking for to challenge you. And then she said to challenge you and for that title, then look no further than me. And she said, you know what? Come on, Sasha. She did come out here in the tank, and she said, you're on. She take a challenge, and then that would be the first match of the night, which would be Charlotte Flair versus Chauncey Blackheart. This match was a good match as for the first time in a long time. It was a match that made both Charlotte and Chauncey look good. Chauncey didn't look weak in her, even though she lost the match, and Chauncey did lose. Your winner was Charlotte Flair. Chauncey didn't look weak in that loss because of the way how they told the story. And that's all I've been asking them to do, is that if you're going to make people lose, just don't make them look weak while losing, so that they can still look like a legit contender for the title, and that you're just not going to bury them so that other people could look good, and they're just gonna get lost in the shuffle. Almost like what you're doing with kind of like you're doing with Rhea Ripley and Nikki. They didn't even appear last Monday, so yeah, the match was a good match in itself. It broke down at the end where there was an exchange where Charlotte was trying to hit Shanti, but she would miss, and she would end up at the ropes on the side where Sasha was at standing up by the ringside. So she started taunting Sasha. Sasha would get up on her apron and on right where the ropes are at, and try to jaw jack back with Charlotte, but Charlotte would go, oh, she would go like she would move out the way like Sanshi was getting ready to come up, but it was a little bit of a miscue because it looked like Sanshi should have like tried to come up as it was before to run up and try to attack her, so that when she went like step to the side, well dramatically like Sanshi would come and almost try to hit her and almost hit Sasha, but stopped. That's like that was supposed to happen, but either Charlotte went old too quick or Sanshi didn't miss her cue to run up on her. Anyway, it was like a little bit of miscommunication because it was like a little bit off. But she ended up still like trying to go hit Charlotte. Charlotte would go, oh, even though like it's a little off, but and then so they had to like kind of go around it. There was also a botch in this match too. This would be the first like move botch. And like she was trying to do, Sanchi was trying to do like a dive between the ropes onto the outside onto Charlotte, but her feet might have got caught. I don't know. Something happened where Sanchi did not get none of that at all. It looked like at best. It looked like that Charlotte caught her, and she was supposed to do like a move. It like Charlotte caught her and was trying to do a move, but it was just Sanchi who either mistimed it, Charlotte was too far, who knows. Either way, it looked awkward because she caught her and it just kind of awkwardly fell to the ground, just like, oh wow. So then when you get to the second botch of the night, then you just like, what is it? What is with like these botches? Because these botches were like bad. These wasn't just like, oh, mistimed, but you fixed it type botch. These were botches that couldn't be fixed because it was so bad. You just had to move on from that maneuver, or you just did it just so awkward and cringeworthy that it's just like, wow, that kind of hurt the match. And this botch did kind of hurt the match because it was like I said, she caught Shanti, but then it was like struggling and it just went to the ground. I'm like, oh no. Don't tell me she was really supposed to get that move off. I thought Shanti got, countered, but it obviously she wasn't supposed to get countered. She was supposed to actually hit that, in between the ropes move, but something went wrong and they just had to pretend like she did hit it and fall. I'm just like, but yeah, the ending of this match came to where she was trying to hit Charlotte. But Charlotte would move out the way. Sasha would almost hit Sasha, but then she would get natural selection, and the natural selection into the pin, and then into the pin, causing Sasha to lose the match. Afterwards, there was a little confrontation between Sasha and Charlotte. I think like Charlotte was trying to like get her a belt, but Sasha was like, get out of here or something like that, and Charlotte was just like, okay, fine, whatever. They just bring me my title. She said, forget it. You're not about to try to beat me up trying to get my own title. But then she would turn around and get her butt handed to her. I mean, Sansi destroyed Charlotte Flair. And they saying that this was like an act of turning heel, but I don't think she turned heel, not at least in my opinion, because, Sasha was a heel. You can't, and then Sasha really did deserve that butt whooping. She did. She deserved the butt whooping. So how was that Sansi turning heel? But I guess it was, and that's what happened. She turned heel, apparently. I don't think it turned heel. But yeah, she destroyed Sasha. And it looked like the current feud is going to be like Charlotte and Sansi and Sasha for the Smackdown Women's Championship. Which, if they do it that way, I'm all for it. It really is. I'm all for it. But if I have, and I didn't mention Sansi was the Charlotte Flair was the winner of that match, thanks to an interference from Sasha. The second match would be Drew McIntyre versus Mustafa Ali, or you didn't know it was Mustafa Ali because it was like an open challenge match. But then Mustafa Ali would come out saying that that while Drew may be big and athletic, athletic and stuff and like that, I think he said big, athletic, and fast or something like that. But he's smarter, So he's going to prove that by beating him right here tonight. So they get the match started, and Drew just dominates the majority of the match. Like the majority of this match was dominated by Drew. Mustafa Ali did get some good shots and maneuvers in, but at the end, Drew was just too much for him. And I think Drew won this match by submission. I think he put Mustafa in the Kimura lock and beat Drew and beat Mustafa Ali. After the match, Mustafa would grab the mic and say he had to get something off his chest, and basically says that the only reason why they cheer for someone like Drew McIntyre and boo him is because his name is Mustafa Ali, and he got mad and threw the mic. So it looked like they pushing Ali into a new direction here. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but I don't think they really need to push him in a new direction. They actually just need to have faith in him and continue to build him up like they were supposed to when he was supposed to become the number one contender and win the WWE Championship. But that was a long time ago. We will get the King Woods promo next. They King Woods they were talking about how his Warrior coordination was how they just like his World Coordination last week. This Kofi prepared them to hear the Royal Creed, and he emphasized Creed because if you don't know, Xavier Woods' real name is Austin Creed. So that's why he went the Creed of King Woods, and they got a Hell King Woods chant going on. Hell King Woods. I think Kofi had that chant started, and they went for a minute. The crowd went for a minute doing that. They started talking about how what Kofi did last week for him. So this week, Xavier wanted to return the favor by knighting Xavier Woods. Kofi Kingston to become his right hand. And that now Kofi got a new name called Sir Kofi. I think they did get a "You Deserve It" chant started too again, or the crowd started chanting "You Deserve It," or they were Woods started talking about how hard he worked to become king, and he said, "Yeah, he said yes, I do. I did a lot of work, and especially behind the scenes." But this will bring out the Usos, and the Usos basically would taunt them and tell them that a lot of things changed since you guys been gone. Because this show now belongs to the bloodline because we are the ones. I'm trying to think what else happened after that. So they started going back and forth with each other, cracking jokes and taunting each other. But because of what they did, all the King was like, because of your vile, distasteful actions. Now later on there will be a match between me and you, between the Usos and the New Day, and the New Day accept. But Jay wanted to know if that scepter was like real golden, and then he tried to touch it, but Kofi like smacked his hand and go, no. And Jimmy would get mad and hit Kofi, but they would get out the ring, basically tell them they'll see each other later. The third match of the night was Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus Baron Corbin and Rick Moss. The thing to note here too was that, a trick to me, at least in my opinion, trick or street fight in this type of fashion is just nothing but a tornado tag match with a little. I want to say I always thought the tornado tag matches were like no DQ, but that's pretty much what this trick or street fight was. It was just basically like a tornado tag match with weapons, and it was a good match. It really was. I enjoyed it a lot. I really did enjoy it. I'm trying to remember how this ended. I think like Shinsuke was trying to. I forgot. I really did forget how it was a distraction. I do know that much. So during where it looked like Shinsuke and Rick Boogs had the match won, two dudes with masks would come up on the ring and distract them, allowing Baron Corbin. I'm not calling him Happy Corbin, and I'm not calling Riddick Moss Madcap Moss. I'm always going to call them Riddick Moss. They would get beat, allowing Baron Corbin to beat them and win the match. I forget if I haven't said it already. Baron Corbin music now comes with pyro. He has some pyro to his music. They even acknowledged it on Smackdown. I had Pat McAfee say, "Do Happy Corbin got Brock Lesnar and like pyro?" But yeah, Riddick Moss and Baron Corbin will pick up the win, giving this the I think his second win in the row over Shinsuke Nakamura after beating him last week and this week. There was a backstage promo with Paul Heyman about because I think Adam Pearce was there via at home at his house, and he came in like via satellite, basically saying that what Brock Lesnar did last week was reprehensible. So not only on top of him being suspended, he is now finding Brock Lesnar for not only putting his hands on him, but the officials and all the other people and the officials and stuff. He's finding Brock Lesnar $1 million. He revealed that that's what he's finding them for that. And there was a backstage promo with Paul Heyman piggybacking off of that. Like, I think Kato like snuck up on Paul and asked Paul like, what would Brock Lesnar do if how would he react to Adam Pearce's announcement? At first he didn't want to say anything, but then he did get golden into it, and he started talking and rambling like he just been in contact with Brock Lesnar. And when he realized that, he stops and like go, oh. I mean, that's what I would think how Brock Lesnar would react. And then he looked at Kato just like, leave me alone, and walk away. And so we would get the fourth match would be Naomi versus Shayna Baszler. This is where the second botch of the night come in. Like, the first one was in the Charlotte Flair match. The second one was in this match where we did. Oh, I forgot. On their way to the ring, we did get to see Hit Row before the King. I think did this happen? Oh yeah, this happened. Like, I think this happened. I'm trying to remember. Did this happen before or after this match? Oh, this was before the King Woods promo. We did get to see Hit Row, who was glad to be in the presence of King Woods and Kofi, and they even made in the middle of they did that little Hit Row, but in the form of they were singing it for Kofi. They did a little song for Kofi that Kofi was like. But yeah, the next match would be Shayna Baszler versus Naomi. I think this was like the fourth match of the night. It wasn't that many matches. They like literally 5 matches. But yeah, this match we had the second match of the night. It was a good match. This match kind of had potential. There was no referee, so the story was because of what Brock Lesnar did last week. There was no referee to referee the match because he was injured. So Sonya Deville named herself the referee, saying she would be honest and fair, which she wouldn't. We all know she was not, and she wasn't. She basically was just more of a distraction. The match was going good up until the botch. This was the worst botch. This botch was worse than the Charlotte Flair botch because at least she did like. Sansi did connect with her move, even though she botched it, she still connect, and they just kind of awkwardly failed. This one was bad. It was worse because at the closing moments of the match, she would get tossed to the outside, but she held on. So now she's just on the apron. She's jaw jacking with Sonya, and then she would like kick Shayna. And Shayna hold her arm, but just like, oh, so she kind of like messed up, and to be able for Naomi to get her move off. So she's still jaw jacking with Sonya, and she jumps onto the rope, and she actually jaw jacked, then she stopped, and then she jumped on the ropes. But you could tell like that she kind of that you could tell this was a botch because as soon as she jumped up there, she got wobbly legs. She was like, ooh, 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 ooh. I'm like, oh no. It looked like she jumped up there a little bit too quick. Not that she didn't jump up there the correct way to get her balance. So then she tried to uh she tried to still do like the little springboard off the ropes. She still tried to do the springboard to hit Sonya, but she couldn't. Like soon as she rose up to stand on her feet to springboard herself, she just went forward and was like, boom. I was like, oh no. She said, I'm like, oh god. So she just like she doesn't really face plant, but she knees first and then just go like did like in the we're not worthy position. She like she was almost like she was bowing down, doing like the we not worthy. That's how she landed on the ground. She just stayed there because she botched it bad, so bad that she didn't want to look up. But Sonya would come up, Shayna would come over there, grab her, and put her and try to put her in the carry for the clutch, but she would reverse it into a pin. But Sonya would count so slow that Shayna was able to reverse into her own pin, and then she count like super fast. She just went 1, 2, 3, and it was like it was over. And basically, she get taunted by Pat for going drunk with power. Like Pat McAfee, he's like that commentator that's in between being a heel and a face commentator because he roots for certain people, for certain heels, but then he goes against certain heels too. Cause he don't like the heel Baron Corbin or the heel Sonya Deville. But yeah, this would lead to Naomi losing the match. But in a backstage promo, she basically said that she would, if Sonya want to put up that corporate suit and challenge her to a straight one-on-one match, with the final she'd be waiting for her. And if Sonya wants to do the same thing, she's also waiting for her too. Signifying that he's trying to get serious with Naomi and maybe pushing her into a more serious character. When we get the main event, which is the New Day versus the Usos, this main event was a good main event. It was a traditional match, albeit a little bit short, but it was the match to close the show out. Like we didn't get no Roman throughout this whole episode, just the Usos and Paul Heyman, and not even somebody coming out to challenge. Since Brock Lesnar suspended, you don't even got nobody trying to challenge him for the title. So you just got. So this was a very good match. It was a decent match. They put for the limited time they put on a good show, and due to a nice sequence from the New Day would actually get the victory over the Usos, giving them their first loss. And I want to say maybe in like 2 or 3 months. This might be their first loss in 2 or 3 months. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. But I think this is the first time they won in like 2 or 3 months. But yeah, they stand tall, looking like they're gonna get the New Day will get a championship match against the Usos. But that's it. That not a lot happened. This was a very if I missed something, I probably missed something, but I'm pretty sure this is basically the whole card. The whole night was consistent of this. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode for what it was. Albeit it was short. Like I'm not even gonna take points away for the botches or for both Naomi and Chauncey Blackheart. I enjoyed everything that was on this card. Nothing was bad. The only thing I would say was bad was that they just didn't. It felt like they didn't put effort into this episode. This episode felt like it was too short and it could have used a lot more oomph. So they lose points for a production standpoint value. So that means I give this episode of Smackdown 7 big ups just because it just didn't feel stellar. Like it felt like a meek filler episode of Smackdown, if you will. Those who my anime fans know what I mean by filler. This feel like a filler episode. They didn't feel like a legit episode of Smackdown because nothing really happened. Other than started talking about her promo and talking about what happened, there was pretty much was nothing good on the show that was worthy of a 10 or higher, 10 or anything close to 10. This was a 7 rating show. But if you think differently or you want to let me know what you think, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the SmackDown and how you felt about SmackDown. And if you enjoyed this review, then hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoyed the video so much you want to support the channel, then hit that like button, hit that spooky button or the subscribe button. You know, subscribe to the channel, become part of the tribe. You know, because once you're in the tribe, you gotta obey the tribal chief and hit that notification button so you get notified. I mean, turn all the notifications on so you get notified when I drop videos. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content, but don't go anywhere because I got gameplay for y'all. I do. But enjoy the rest of your day, man, because I got gameplay. Peace.